city. Oh, that is who you are.
Good evening, guys. Are y'all excited to be here tonight? Yes. Is everybody having a good week? Even though neither only kids have only been to school 2 days, so can't be that bad. Hey, if you need help with algebra, Miss Lauren, she's a great algebra teacher. Y'all need to take advantage of her help on Wednesday nights. So I know we're struggling with algebra, a lot of us, so in ninth grade. Okay, so does anybody remember the challenge we're doing right now? It has 5 minutes of worship, 5 minutes of prayer, and 5 minutes of Bible study. Okay, so that is doable for everyone? Is there anyone who does not have 15 minutes in their whole day they can do that? No, Sammy. I'm sure. If nothing else, you can set your alarm 15 minutes early, right? So we're good. Yeah, Sammy's way too busy to do 15 minutes of.
You listen to me talk to you for like 45 minutes. Not every day.
We don't need God to strike the building, so let's not lie about that. Okay, so reminder.
Let's hope that God has time for you. Okay, so remember, we have to social distance, so part of that is making sure the chairs stay such a distance apart. So please do not move the chairs once they are in place. And housekeeping. Okay, so guys, we come together once a week for about, an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. It's really important that you stay in here the entire time. First of all, you're going to miss out on some amazing blessings. Second of all, it is very disruptive to people around you when you get up and come in and go out and come in. So we really, really want to encourage you to stay the entire time that Adam's given his message or the games we play. Okay, so that's especially you older kiddos, that's a really good example you can set for the younger ones, okay? So make sure we're doing that. God can move when you're here, but for sure not move in your heart through ministry if you're not here. So every part of this, the games, that's a bonding thing we do, activity we do. Worship is a huge part of our Wednesday night service. And then obviously listening to whatever message Adam has for us. So it's all important and you don't want to miss out on any of it. So we really encourage you guys to stay in here the whole time. You guys know we start about 6:45, so you should be able to go to the restroom or whatever things you need to do. Obviously there's an emergency sometimes, but if not, please stay seated and participate in our worship service. If you have to leave, make sure one of the adults know about it. So usually there's adults over there because we can't have you just walking around and nobody know where you are, right? So, okay, everybody ready for some games tonight? Wow, good timing. Thank you. I'm going to fall over this every week. Okay, so, look, I'm 6 feet apart from you people, so I'm taking this down for just a second. We have 2 games we're going to play today. Our first game, I need 6 people. So y'all didn't even listen, but okay, it works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, do you mind sitting down? I'm so sorry. You'll be like in the next game, I promise. I need a girl. I hear Miss Kayla all the time. Actually, no, I don't hear Miss Kayla all the time. I hear Miss Cornell. All right, so I need, let's see, one girl come over here, and then y'all are going to be a team over here. Y'all are going to be a team over here. Y'all remember, it wasn't last week because I wasn't here last week. The week before, we played Family Feud, but we played Halloween style. No, that wasn't last week. I wasn't here last week. So we are going to play Thanksgiving style Family Feud. Okay? So I need y'all choose a spokesperson for this group. Y'all choose a spokesperson for this group. I guess you've been appointed. So Austin, you will be our spokesperson for this group. Ed, are you going to be the spokesperson for this group? He just said he was. He's injured. Come on, Kaysen. Oh, look. Get Dominoes. All right. Yeah, what did you do? Were you punching Addison? All right. So, Thanksgiving survey says, here's the first one. Name one thing. Oh, wait. Hang on. Before we start this, y'all need to, whoever touches their toes first, that's who's going to go first. That's our buzzer, okay? Life's not fair, okay? All right, you ready? Name one thing you eat on Thanksgiving. All right, he says turkey. Turkey. Are y'all going to pass or play? All right, y'all get ready because y'all may have to steal. All right, y'all come over together. All right. Stuck. All right, name one thing you eat on Thanksgiving. Green bean casserole. But, okay. All right, name one thing you eat on Thanksgiving. Potato salad. Survey says. Oh, all right, Austin, name one thing you eat on Thanksgiving. Mashed potatoes. Nice, good job. All right, name one thing you eat on Thanksgiving. Rolls. Who doesn't eat rolls on Thanksgiving? Something you eat for Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie. Nice. Oh, wait, it's Austin. I was totally skipping you. Sorry.
Cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce. Out of the jar, that way it has a little lines and it just slides out, right? Yes. Yes. It's like jelly. I just eat it by itself. Gravy. Oh, okay. Y'all just need one to steal it. What is one thing that you eat on Thanksgiving? Sorry, Ed. You're lucky Adam likes you. No, I'm just, good job. Y'all technically, I guess, stole it. Are y'all ready? I need Ed and I need Jacob. All right, you have to do it. Y'all have to do a jumping jack. That's going to be your buzzer. Name something. Wait, I can't read. Name something you do other than eat on Thanksgiving. Watch football. All right, you have it. You have a chance to steal. Name something you do other than eat on Thanksgiving. Hang out with the family. That is number 3. Are y'all going to pass or play? They're going to play. All right, y'all get ready to steal. Cook. Nice. Sorry. Name something you do other than eat on Thanksgiving.
Watch the little kids.
Watch the little children's. Oh. Jacob, name something you do other than eat on Thanksgiving. on Thanksgiving?
Sleeping.
Sleeping. That's my kind of thing, especially after you eat turkey. All right, name something you do other than eat.
You're an embarrassment.
That's not very nice.
It's a
You gonna pass or you gonna go?
pass.
That's their three X's. All right, are y'all ready? Talk to your group first. Oh, pray, pray. They pray before other than eat. Ah, they would. All right. So, what is number four? Number four is watch the parade. Although there's no parade this year, kind of sad. Number five would be Black Friday shopping. Although that actually starts tonight, by the way. Yes. And then number seven is exercise, walk, or bread. The turkey trot.
Quiet, please.
Oh, I like that. That was nice. It was very British. Katie and Keegan. Did I say that right? Nice. All right, Katie and Keegan. All right. You know what? I like you girls. I'm just gonna make you raise your hand. All right, are y'all ready? Thanksgiving survey says, name a Thanksgiving word that begins with the letter P. What? Pie. Okay, pie. Can you beat pie? Potatoes. Oh, are y'all gonna pass or play? All right, let's play. You can go back over there. Y'all back up just a little bit. You're like kind of in my bubble. All right, are you ready? Okay, you just had it, so let's go to Casey. Pilgrims. Nice. All right, Ed. Something that starts with a P. The the pina. The penta. The penta. The penta. Look, I'm even a teacher. Yes, it is. But hey, all right. Give me something that starts with a P. Brisket. That starts with a B. Give me something that starts with a P. She said parade. Nice. All right, Casey, give me something that starts with a P. Pray. I like that. Ooh, nice. All right, Ed, give me something that starts with a P. Pumpkin. Nice. All right, one more for number 6. Give me something that starts with a P. Help her out. Think of something that starts with a P. That goes with Thanksgiving. You got about 10 seconds. 9, 8. They're passing. That is just 2. All right, so you gained yourself 30 more seconds. Think of something that starts with a P. They're down to 2 X's, by the way. They said play games. Play. That was their third. talking about poetry. I was going to tell you to give me some. What? Number 6, they said poultry. Oh, that was a good guess. Okay, so what would number 6 be? Pecan.
Okay,
Pecan,
click off this.
pecan, whatever.
Pause this.
Pecan pie. All right.
Hold on,
now
hold
we
on,
need
hold
Adam.
on.
Thanks, guys. Y'all go have a seat.
Hang on a second. Don't go too far, because we may have to play another couple rounds of that. We'll finish off with that, I think, probably.
Okay.
So, I do not. So, as many of you know, in my quarantine time, I have picked up a small hobby in which I've gained several animals, some of which you guys have met. Hey, could somebody bring me my iPad real quick that's back there? If you would like to gaze upon my lovely animals, we have 9 chickens, 2 ducks, and 3 ducks and 2 goats. And so this is a new segment in which we like to call Fafs with Farmer Adam, okay? In which I'm going to take a couple of moments and speak to you guys about the importance. Look, I care about all of you. Let me turn on this real quick. Hold on just a second. I'm going to pull up this, that. Check. There we go. Okay. I would like to impart a little bit of wisdom because I want to teach you in any way that I possibly can, because that's my job, is to make sure I just pass those little clips of knowledge along. So, in case any of you decide that you'd like to be a farmer like myself in the middle of Groves, Texas, you will then know very quickly something that is very important, okay? And so for this week's segment of Fafs with Farmer Adam, everybody say Fafs. And if you don't know what that word is, make sure you Google it, because it's a very important one. I would like to teach you today something very particular about ducks. You see, those are my 3 ducks right up there. We do have names for them, but they don't like me, so I don't care to even give them or speak to them with regards to names, because I show them nothing but love and support and feed and clean them out and all that kind of stuff, but yet they love Lauren. Lightning, Elmo, and something else. Dang it. Flash, Elmo. Huh. Oh, yeah, and Nancy. Big Bird is a chicken. We will talk about chickens at a different segment. Stay with this one. So, we have 3 ducks, all of which do not show love for the one person who cares for them the most, right? But it's okay. They love Lauren. That's fine. One very important thing that you need to know, very, 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 very importantly, is that ducks have this thing that separates them from many other living creatures in the world, and that is that they cannot in any way control their poop. But that would be one normal thing if it weren't for the fact that the poop itself is very, very scary, projectile, and makes a very particular noise when it comes out, like and shoots across the yard. In fact, if you don't believe me, just check out this quick video really quick. Oh, wait for it. Oh, there's one. Oh, that's not the worst. That was actually a pretty solid one. This is more like it, right there. You see that little bad boy? And then he's walking away like nothing. There's nothing to look at, right? So, if you ever get anywhere or go anywhere to get yourself a duck, you make sure to know very particularly that ducks poop projectile, very, very liquidy, and without any kind of control. And if you don't believe me, ask this guy who has not worn the same shorts ever since. That has been Fafs with Adam. Farmer Adam. I'm sorry, that was embarrassing. I already messed that whole thing up. Yeah, okay, but...
Okay. This thing is gonna kill me. So, I may have told y'all a fib. Okay. Dear goodness. I may have told y'all a fib. We're gonna play another game, but we're gonna play the same game again. No. No, I'm good with this. I need 6 new people. Lauren's picking this time. Yes, come on. Come. How many girls did you pick and how many guys? Wait. Reagan stole Reagan's spot. Nice. Do you want to play? Don't either. We'll find out. Yes. All right. We're doing a. That's look. Great minds think alike. I was actually thinking that in my head earlier. Yeah, get over there. All right. What's your I like that name? Nice. All right. Everybody meet Starla. Say hi to Starla. All right, and then we know everybody else, right? Good. All right. I need y'all to, you know what? Starla, you're going to be the first one over here. So you're going to be the first. Yes. No, back up, child. Fletcher, you're going to be the first one. I can say that because I'm him right now. Yeah, see? I'm Reagan Cognac. All right, so Thanksgiving. All right, okay, you two go stand back there. All right. So, let's see. I will make you put your hand on your head. That's going to be your buzzer, okay? So, Thanksgiving survey says name an NFL team that plays on Thanksgiving. He says the Dallas Cowboys, or as they're called, I don't make these rules. The Dallas Cowgirls, actually. All right, they are playing. All right, are y'all ready? Name an NFL team that plays on Thanksgiving. Sure.
The Lions.
The Lions. Where are the Lions from? Well, they told you now. Okay, I actually knew that, by the way. Yeah. The Colts. No, the Colts don't play on Thanksgiving. So sorry. Oh, wait. It's still y'all's. All right. Yes, Fletcher. The Eagles. Oh. You have one more.
Packers.
The Packers. Nice. All right.
Saints.
Oh. All right. Girls, you have the one chance to steal. The Steelers. Oh. The Steelers stole it. Nice. Good job. All right. I need Jordan and I need Reagan. All right. Sorry, you're coming up against my kid, so I'm gonna have to make you do something really ridiculous. Oh no, hey. All right. Miss Lauren, help me think of a buzzer for these two. Okay. All right. So what is this called? Where's my dancer? Bree. What is this called? Where they have to spin around in a circle like this? All right. Y'all have to. That's actually pretty good. Y'all have to pirouette. That's gonna be your buzzer, okay? I know, but I made it that way because it's my kid. All right, ready? Name a flavor of pie. Reagan. Pumpkin. All right, are y'all gonna pass or play? They're gonna play. Come over here. All right, Fletcher, name a flavor of pie. Pecan pie. Or pecan if you're from the north.
Apple.
Apple.
Key lime pie.
Key lime pie. Oh. Peach.
coconut cream.
All right, girls, are y'all ready to steal again? Cherry. Nice, the girls stole again. All right. I need Riley and I need Gage. And then after this one, I think we need to have an adult game.
Quiet, please.
All right.
Quiet, please.
Quiet, please. I don't either. Ooh. Let's see. Just touch your head. I'm out of buzzers. All right, Thanksgiving. No, I've got it. You got to do the Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Yeah, you got to do the Macarena. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Thanksgiving survey says, which Thanksgiving food normally has the most leftovers? Riley.
Turkey.
Turkey. I was reading. Lauren was watching. All right, let's go. Get back up, back up, back up, back up. All right. Ham. Nice. Stuffing or dressing? Pie. Yankees call it stuffing, we call it dressing. That's why I said both.
No.
Look at me, I don't know the answers.
Green bean casserole.
Oh, y'all get ready to steal. Y'all may be stealing.
Mashed potatoes.
All right, y'all are still in it. You got 30 seconds.
Green. No, 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 no. I found it. Cranberries? I don't. Veggies.
Vegetables.
Roll. That's it. Everyone would eat the mac and cheese. I'm gonna say rolls. Rolls.
Rolls. Oh, all right, boys, are you ready to steal? What is something that is normally has leftovers?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Oh, all right. What was number 5? Sweet potatoes. What was number 6? Cranberries. What was number 7? Salad. All right, good job, guys. I need what? I'm done. I'm done. Good. All right, everybody, go have a seat. I need everybody to bow your heads. I'm going to say a prayer real fast before Adam comes up and gives us his message. Dear God, thank you for letting us gather here today and just have a good evening and be with these kids as we continue this week in homecoming and just be with our country as we figure out who our next leader is going to be. And we pray that it's your will that is done and you know what's going to happen. And just be with Adam as he gives his message. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
you go. I did edit some of it. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Hey, first of all, go away. I'm excited that you guys are here tonight. It's always a weird feeling whenever there's very few people. I mean, we had several, but they were all spread out through the building, and it was just and it got dark early. I was like, oh, this is such a weird kind of night. And then I look and like everybody came all at the last minute. So if I have not talked to you tonight, first of all, I'm so excited that you're here. It makes me so happy to see each and every one of your smiling faces. Well, most of them. Gage?
How was your Halloween?
My Halloween was really, really pretty good, I guess. I don't even remember it now. What did we do? You don't even remember either. Okay, great. Two of my kids wore the same outfits that they wore to their fall festival, and one changed her to the third costume of the year already. And that's the one does not that does not fit into either Lauren or I in senses like that, because she's very fashionable and she can't be caught wearing the same thing twice, unfortunately. But it was very good, I guess. No. Oh. All right, so moving on. If you've got your Bibles, I want you to turn to Daniel, okay? Turn to the book of Daniel. Now, this is about 3/4 of the way through, like, the first half of your Bible, okay? If you've got a phone, you can pull it up. I highly encourage a paper Bible. There's something about it, having it here and not being a part of a bunch of distractions on your phone. So the book of Daniel, if you do not have a Bible and you would like a Bible, we will gift you a brand new one for free. Absolutely, we'll give it to you. If you'd rather just borrow one, we have several. My wife is handing out several if you want to borrow one. These are free. Just let me know if you'd like to have one, and you can have one. But we're going to be in the book of Daniel. But let me ask you a question. How many guys, like what I just showed up there, enjoy maybe a couple aspects of those platforms, or kind of recognize sort of what that video was going for as far as what like the subject matter of that video was? Just Gage. Gage is the only one paying attention, front and center. That's good. That's okay. The picture or the video that I just showed, did you recognize any of the aspects of that, or recognize some of the accounts, or maybe the types of social medias, or was it like totally odd to you or totally off to you? Like, what is all this? I don't even know what this is, right? Okay, social media, absolutely. Specifically, something that we're going to talk about here coming up. But for me, I'm not much of an Instagram or Facebook type person. I'm completely against and anti-Snapchat, so don't talk to me if you want to come and try to argue that Snapchat's good, because there's no good reason for it. But I am absolutely and utterly addicted. I will admit it. First step to recovery is admitting there's a problem. I'm addicted to YouTube, absolutely. Anybody else in here watch YouTube? I am, okay, this is a moment of just like pure reflection and just admitting problems here. I am so addicted to YouTube that I don't even need to watch YouTube. Here's what I have YouTube Premium, of course, like any addict would. I want the premium stuff, okay? I pop in headphones, not even both, just one. I turn it on, I turn off my phone, and I put it in my pocket, and I just listen to YouTube all day. Not audiobooks, not podcasts, not the radio, just YouTube. Like videos, I listen to videos all day long. That's what I really enjoy about YouTube. I think YouTube is a vast and incredible and amazing thing, including during the nighttime when I'm getting ready for bed and Lauren wants to watch whatever she wants to watch. I put on YouTube. Yeah, I'm sure they're valid and sure great, but not my thing. Okay. Ooh, transparency time again. But I did discover something brand new. It's not even brand new. It's been around for a couple of years now on YouTube on accident, and it had, let's just say, near fatal consequences, okay? How many of you guys have ever heard of a type or genre of video called mukbang? Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did. Because I knew there would be people in here who have it. How about adults in here? Adults in here. Anybody have any idea what mukbang is? No? Great. Feast your eyes. Okay, this is a video I actually made for a totally different reason. Okay? But just watch this just for a second. She's not mukbang, so ignore this part, but it's coming up next.
I love it so much. And these are the brushes. They're so beautiful. I love them so much. So I'm just going to be explaining a little.
I love these brand new things. I've never pulled out of the things so much.
And it's Blend Oval Makeup Brush Set. I love using this so much. I love this brush set so much. Oh my gosh, these go on so smoothly. This makes my skin look so nice. I feel like I want to put on more just because it looks so good when I put it on. This is so fun.
This is mukbang.
I'm doing a free giveaway. If you guys want this for free, click the link down below. And I'm sending a bunch out to you guys for this month. Ice cold. That's going to join me for my meal.
There's not going to be any eating. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Uh-huh. All right. So, for the adults in the room, mukbang is a YouTube channel or genre in which people just film themselves eating an enormous amount of food, a lot of times spicy, okay? And it is the most horrible thing when you are hey, do me a favor. If you're on your phone, just do me a favor. Just like get off the phone just for a couple minutes, okay? I promise we'll get back into this, okay? What in the world? I don't like it. When you are laying in bed, okay, and you are scrolling through YouTube, going down the rabbit hole, of course, and you suffer from something that is an actual medical condition called misophonia. Anybody have any idea what misophonia is? Go ahead. Not the fear, but ultimately when the sounds that come from like a mouth or certain particular sounds create utter and complete rage in you. Now, Lauren, as my resident physician and wife, would you say that I have misophonia? I may have. Oh, raise your hand in here if I've ever yelled at you for eating or making horrible noises while eating. Very good. Okay. It doesn't bother me like that, okay? Growing up with misophonia is absolutely, anybody in here actually agree that you have this? Okay, so you can agree with me how horrible it is at dinner time when the very first moment, eating normal, absolutely normal, I will kill you with kindness. Okay, when you hear that horrible, horrible noise, and the second you hear that, I don't care how much noise is happening in the house, it's all you hear, and it's on megaphone inside your brain, and you're just like, I'm gonna explode, right? It is a horrible noise. Now, fast forward or rewind, back to me laying in bed, headphones in, she's watching her show, I'm watching YouTube, rabbit hole, oh, that looks good, what's this? Click on it, and it's just that, in my ears, all like in 3D noise. And I'm like, whoa! I thought I was gonna have a stroke. It was a horrible, horrible situation. How do you have a question? Yes, it is. It is eating ASMR, absolutely. Here's the thing. No matter how horrible that is, okay? Now, no matter how horrible that noise is or that sound is or whatever, and actually the reason I made that video was it was kind of a silly thing. How many of you guys have ever watched a YouTube video or an Instagram post and they were like clearly like they were selling something? Like nowadays they have to be like, this is a paid ad or whatever it may be, right? But it's pretty normal. Like most of us see this, it's just absolutely normal now that it's a part of all of our existence. In fact, it's so normal that they've come up with an actual term of the people who do the selling on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it may be. Who can tell me what that term is? Nope. Nope. Go ahead. No. Say it, yeah. Influencers. How many of you guys have heard this term? This is not a new term. It is not a new term, but it is a term that has been newly branded towards something. Okay, an influencer is like somebody who's popular on Instagram, YouTube, whatever it may be. It's somebody who's got a lot of followers, whether they bought them or they're legit, who get paid by sponsored companies like the squeaky sounding drink thing, right? Or the awesome, I love these makeup things that she clearly had used all the time previous to this. And they get money and whatever it may be. And you call it a sellout, but if somebody were offering me $2,000, I'd be standing up here like, hey, Apple iPad, you should try it. It's amazing, right? Give me $2,000, I'll make this into an advertisement. But here's the thing. I want to start a series tonight called Influencers, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, that doesn't say influencers. Anybody, what's that say? Ingiver. Ingiver. Okay, I like that. But here's the thing. I want to talk about influencers over the next couple of weeks, and I know you're thinking like, oh, are we talking about Instagram people? No, that's not what I'm talking about. And yes, there's going to be portions of it that you're like, okay, I see what you're saying. But I think there's other influencers that we'll talk about that will make more sense later. And so one of the things that I need you to just kind of lean in over the next couple of weeks is this idea of what an influencer is. Now, if you were to define an influencer, what would you define an influencer as? Stop saying sellout. If I were to hand you $100 right now, would you take that? Yes. If I were to hand you $100 and say, I need you to put on your Instagram, come to this youth group, would you do it? Oh, too bad. I had 100. Okay, I had $100. I'm sure. Okay, hey, Gage. No. Okay. Let's define a influencer. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, a leader, yeah. Okay, a person that persuades you to do something, yeah. Okay, so that's an example? Sure, yeah. Okay, convince you to do stuff, yeah. One more. Okay, somebody's really popular, makes you want to be like them. Okay, so here's what the Oxford Dictionary calls it. An influencer is to have influence, or an influencer is someone who has the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone else. Would you guys agree with that? Okay, absolutely. That's pretty easy. I want to talk about some characteristics of an influencer. So what are some popular characteristics? An influencer is, fill in the blank. Go ahead. No, stop. Now you can't say it. No, now you can't say it. You can't say it, Brady. I'm not going to call on you. Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ed. It's all you. Do it. Okay, no, you're done. Okay. Okay, they're outgoing, yeah. They're pretty. A lot of times they are pretty, yeah, absolutely. Charismatic, yeah. You got something? No? Smell in your armpit? Huh? What? Huh? Courageous, okay. Then you guys. Okay, well, since y'all have figured it out here, okay, here's what I come up with, right? Influencers do this. They impact, right? Huh? They impact. Y'all are crazy tonight, okay? Influencers have an impact, right? They have an impact on behaviors, on interests, those kind of things. Influencers also inspire, right? By the way, if you haven't figured it out yet, they're all going to start with I, because that's what I do, right? They inspire, or they inspire change, right? They develop change. They inspire people into certain aspects of things. They initiate. In other words, they are trendsetters. Most of the time, they are sometimes wearing, clothing that you want to wear, or have houses that you want to wear, and those kind of things. They inform you about certain things. How many of you guys have seen many influencers over the last couple of weeks saying, here's how you vote, get out and vote, here's how to register to vote, right? They're informing people of that, and they invest, right? They invest. I don't even have that one on there. They invest, okay. And last but not least, they do. Christian influencers have a specific thing that maybe others don't do. Listen, they imitate. They imitate Christ, right? At least that's what we hope they do. I want to talk to you about somebody who was affected by influencers tonight in the Bible. And I think this is something that if we just kind of look at it through this lens, right, we're going to understand that, hey, we actually have a lot in common with this particular individual. But in order to talk about Daniel here, I want to tell you just a really quick backstory on Daniel. Daniel was in a home and a country and was surrounded by family and friends when an outside country and a really big, powerful king came in, invaded, uprooted all of them, brought them back to a foreign land, made them live in this foreign land with people that didn't speak their language, and then began to do something called assimilation. Now, we'll talk about assimilation here soon, but ultimately, Daniel, as a young boy, roughly many of y'all's age in here, was faced with a completely life-changing scenario. He was somebody who was living in a foreign land out of his control, and he's forced and faced with scenarios that seem a little insane. Now, if you wonder, Daniel is a real living person. This is not just a fairy tale in the Bible. This is a historical thing, and the people within this story are also historical figures. We know his friends, which we'll talk about here shortly, and we'll kind of discuss those elements. But if you are with me in the Bible, I want you to turn to Daniel chapter 1. We're going to begin reading in verse number 1. It will be on the screen, but I'm not going to click. I almost said Gerald. Jarrell, if you can follow along, that'd be great. Daniel chapter 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, everybody say Nebuchadnezzar. Say Jehoiakim. See, Bible names aren't that hard, right? King of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. That's what I just explained. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand some of the vessels of the house of God. Everybody say, house of God. And he brought them to the land of Shinar. Say Shinar. Wow, you guys are so good. To the house of his God, little g God. I want you to, if you underline things or write in your Bible, those are some of these stuff you should write, because I think it's interesting to write that. Little g God, and place the vessels into the treasury of his God. Little g God, right? Okay, so we see the setup of everything I just said, right? Here's this guy, Nebuchadnezzar. There's a whole backstory to it, but ultimately he comes in, he pulls these people out, but he doesn't just pull the people out. He takes the people's basically church and the things that they worship, not only things that they worship, but the things that literally draw them closer to God, the literal idols that bring them to God, okay? And at that time, it was very important. Many of you have heard of like the tabernacle and things like that in the Old Testament. This was not that, but it was certain elements that were very important to their faith. He took them, he didn't just take them, but then he put them in temples of the little g God. So he desecrated these really, really holy things. Now, how many of you guys have ever read the Old Testament and was like, man, there's a lot of laws and stuff in here, and you've heard this, like, oh, God, there's so many laws, right? Well, when you read that, the reason for that is because those laws were to help draw people closer to him and ultimately set up the need for Jesus. But they also held with it a lot of significance. So for somebody to come and do this and to take these things that had a lot of significance and to desecrate them and make them be a part of fake gods, little g gods, would you say that's a big deal? Everybody in here say yes. Good job. Okay, we'll speed through this. I can tell. Just stick with me just for a couple of moments. I promise you'll enjoy this. Okay, and my Bible just turned. There we go. Verse 3. Then the king commander, Ashpenaz, everybody say Ashpenaz, his chief eunuch, to bring some of the people of Israel, both of the royal family and of nobility. Now, check this out. Verse 4. Youths without blemish. That was my nickname in high school. Wow, tough crowd. Seriously? You're going to let me get away with that? Youth without blemish? Like, perfect, like clear, like me? Okay, I should have answered me. I'm the definition. Okay. Youth without blemish, of good appearance, okay, hello. Skillful in all wisdom, hello. Endowed with knowledge, yeah, duh, me. Understanding, learning, and competent to stand in the king's palace. So ultimately, they were looking for a bunch of Adams, right? Now, why in the world, let's just stop there for just a second. Why is it important for us to know that this is what he was doing? That he was bringing young guys who were smart, good-looking, all that. What's the importance of that? in a past life, are you Hitler? Actually speaking, it seems really awfully familiar, right? Like when I say Hitler, it kind of sounds like that's exactly what Hitler did. Is that not what he did? Wait a minute, is that not the same thing that like terrorists do? They get these guys, these young men who are smart, and they begin, right? It's almost as if it's a military strategy. Now, here's the thing. If you take this and you begin to learn on this, you begin to see this actually occurring in your own high school and your own middle school, right? The popular people go and find the other popular people, the other attractive people, right? And they begin to pull them in, and then they get their own ideology, right? And then suddenly they're the ones that you want to look out for, right? They're the dangerous ones. Okay, I'm looking at some of y'all in here. Right. But the truth is that this is a military strategy called assimilation. Remember I told you I'd come back to that. Now, the thing about assimilation is if the king, this very, very powerful king, were to take these people and were to pull the young men in, these very competent men, and then he was able to teach them, learn them, convince them to follow their beliefs, their everything like that, would the people that he brought into their land suddenly want to uprise? Or would they want to probably just follow along and begin to assimilate into the culture? Everybody say, yeah, assimilate. Very good. And so it's important for you to understand that because Daniel is about to be faced with some really, really particular things. And before I go to that verse, I want to do this. Continuing in verse 4, it says, to teach them the literature, the language of the Chaldeans, the king assigned them a daily portion of food that the king ate and of the wine that he drank. They were to be educated for 3 years, and at the end of all that time, they were to stand before the king. Now, before knowing assimilation, would that have mattered to you at all? Does it make way more sense what's going on when you understand that that's actually like a total military thing that occurred all the way to this century? Everybody say yes. Okay? So now Daniel is going to be amongst these young, good-looking, smart guys, right? And he's going to be facing the king who is going to be pressuring an immense amount of pressure to fall into place, to assimilate into the culture. Why? Because assimilation for the king means no uprising. It means good. So you can see, as you place yourself in this situation of Daniel, you're going to begin to understand a little bit more the pressures he's starting to face. And this is what it says in verse 6, among these were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. And then we're going to skip to verse 8, which is where I just was. And I want you to catch this because this is the main portion of everything right here. But Daniel resolved, everybody say resolved, that he would not defile himself with the king's food or with the wine that he drank. Therefore, he asked the chief and the eunuchs to allow him to not defile himself. And God gave Daniel favor and compassion in the sight of the chief of the eunuchs. Now, why is it important for Daniel not to eat the king's food? Because you're like, free food, man. What's the big deal? Huh? But the king is offering it. So why is it important that he doesn't do that? Nope. There you go. Remember all those laws that I was talking about? All those laws that draw you closer to God? So Daniel, when he was in his homeland, he stayed away from certain animals, certain meats, certain things like that. Why? Because they were considered unclean, and those unclean things would make you unclean, and unclean before God is not a good thing, right? So Daniel grew up in that in his hometown. Now he's being pulled out of his hometown. He's being thrown into a new country. And this country's leader is saying, hey, Brady, yeah, I'm glad you don't ever eat whatever it may be. What's something you don't eat? Think really hard. Sour cream. Okay, Brady, I know you don't eat sour cream because sour creams would lead you straight to hell. But here's the thing. If you're going to live with me and you want to stand with me in the king's court, you're going to eat yourself nothing but sour cream, okay? Okay? But the truth is that if Daniel gave in on that, he would be giving in on his own beliefs, right? His own convictions. But can you see the pressure begin to build here? You see the pressure begin to build for Daniel. He's now being forced with two options. If you choose this way, you're going to be like part of the king's court up here. You're going to be able to be living in basically luxury, even though we're foreigners in this land. We're basically being elevated up into power. You are going from foreigners to from the new kid in school to like the popular kid, and it's just being handed to you. And all you have to do is just give up on this part. Just eat here. Oh, by the way, and if you eat here, this food is way better than any of the food you will eat out there, right? And so you can kind of see almost like, man, if I were in that position, I don't know that I would do what Daniel did. I think I'd be like, oh, well, that sounds like a better situation. I mean, life already stinks. It's 2020. I mean, life stinks. Well, if I just eat this food and it actually looks kind of good, right? I mean, it's made for a king, so if I eat this, then I'll be popular? Like, but if I don't, and if I choose not to, what does that mean for me? Because now I'm dealing with a guy who just stole me out of another land and took all my stuff and basically overtook everything. I don't trust that guy at all. But Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself. Going on. I fear my lord the king. This is the guy who's over Daniel, pulling Daniel in, who assigned your food and your drink, for why should he see that you are in worse condition than the youths who are all of their own age? So you would endanger my head with the king. So not only is he feeling the pressure, but now the guy who's trying to lead him into the courts of the king are basically going, dude, Brady, if you don't eat sour cream, I'm going to die. Like, you're going to try, are you kidding me? When they see Brady isn't eating sour cream, he's going to shrivel up to nothing. And when he shrivels up to nothing, guess who's going to die now? You're going to endanger me? Now, would you feel some pressure there, Brady? Would you begin to feel like, the burden of my life now on yours too? Why? Because you won't eat a couple pieces of food, that the king is gifting you? How would you like this? How many of you guys are like this if I was like, hey, I have a gift for you, and it's a really expensive gift, and it's a really nice gift. Here you go. And then then you were like, no, I don't want it. Thanks. I would feel horrible. Like, would you feel horrible for doing that? I mean, if you were telling me, like, no, I'm giving you a free gift, yeah, that's a mean thing, right? Okay, it depends on the gift. You don't know, but let's just say it was a really good gift. It's hypothetical anyways. Here's what it says. Test your servants. This is Daniel speaking now, okay? So this is Brady speaking now. I just like picking on you now. Test your servants. So Daniel responds to this guy, right? Weight of the world on his shoulder, facing like who knows what in the future. All he has to do is eat, and he's resolving not to. So he says this, hey, test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. Let me go vegan for a while, okay? While all the other men eat whatever, the king's food, right? Then let our appearance and the appearance of the youths who eat the king's food be observed by you, and deal with your servants accordingly the way that you see. So Brady's going to speak to me and say, dude, let me just eat, I don't know, like grass for like 5 days, while we all like eat up on everything that's delicious, including sour cream, right? And then you and I will stand next to each other, and we'll see who looks better, right? I mean, you're eating grass, I'm eating real food. I think I got this in the bag, right? And in fact, it doesn't make any sense for Daniel to say this, except that Daniel has something that this guy doesn't. And what is that? Oh, that's a good point. Thanks, Gage. I appreciate you standing right there in front of me, answering these questions. Daniel has God and willpower, absolutely. So he says, hey, do this impossible feat. Let me do this for just like 10 days, and if it doesn't work, then do whatever you got to do to get rid of us. Like, whatever. Here's what I need you to understand, okay? I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, we haven't been overtaken by another kingdom. We're not being faced with eating meat, and we shouldn't have to eat meat. I mean, I'm not seeing the connection here. The truth is that we actually have a lot more in common with Daniel than what you think. You see, if you claim, and I want to specifically caveat this for those who claim to be followers of Christ. Now, if you are in here and you're like, I'm just here for like the Family Feud, or I'm just here to see Brady, whatever that may be. If you don't claim to be Christian, that's okay. Don't worry about this. You just sit there for just a second. But if you are in here and you claim to be a Christian, a follower of Christ, the truth is that you have only one of two ways, right? Just like Daniel had only one of two ways. He either eats the food or he doesn't eat the food, right? He either stands on his conviction or he gives in to the pressure, right? In other words, let me say it this way. As followers of Christ, you're either being influenced or doing the influencing. Now, don't answer this. And I'm specifically saying don't answer this out loud. I want you to think in your mind on a daily basis, with other people looking in on your life, would they say you are living a life more of being influenced by the world or culture around you, or or are you the one doing the influencing? Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Because the truth is that we are only called to be one of those. The problem is, and if I'm real in here, realistically speaking, is that most of us in here like to try to do both of them, right? So in other words, we go back to Daniel, right? If Daniel were here, most of the Christians today, he'd be like, okay, let me make you a deal, okay? Here's the thing. I know I can't eat this. I can't eat that. You wanting me to eat this. If I eat this, that's not good. If I eat this, it's really not good. If I don't eat this, then it's good. Here, I have an idea. What if I only eat like, I don't know, like instead of eating the pig, I eat the cow and my food. So I just have little bits of the cow, just so it's like, hey, I don't want to leave my plate empty. I mean, the king offered it to me. That's really rude if I just leave it empty. So I'll just eat little bites of it. The other, other pig and things like that, we'll just scoot those aside, right? But what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that mind, that thinking? Huh? So I can see most of you in here are getting kind of sleepy, and I know it's really dark. But here's what I want you to listen to right now. Just to put this in today's term, how do you guys like ice cream? Ho-ho. Okay, so let's just say right after this, I was like, hey, let's go to Dairy Queen. I'm going to buy all of you a Blizzard or whatever you want to buy, a sundae, right? We'll get you a Blizzard. I'm a Blizzard person, right? So we go and we order like the largest Blizzards for all of you, right? And they're all lined up and they're looking good. And you have not ate other than just some salty pizza so that the mouth is watering. You're like, oh, I can taste the coldness right now. Oh, I want to eat some some Blizzard, right? Right? And then I walk by with a little tiny dropper. And you're like, well, what's that? I'm like, oh, this is just a dropper. Well, it has some water in it. Oh, water. Okay, it's kind of clear. It's pretty close to being clear. And you're like, okay, well, what is that? And I'm like, oh, I got this out of the duck pond. Like, you remember those ducks that poop uncontrollably? Yeah, so you fill up the duck pond. It's clear for about 30 seconds, and then it's straight brown. Like, it's disgusting. Because the second they get in water, like it's whew, right? So I just pull up a little dropper, right? And here's all of your Blizzards, right? And I walk along and go drip, 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 right? Okay, one little tiny drip, right? How many of y'all are going to be, this is a horrible question because I know there's some little boys in here, little boys, immature boys who are going to be like, I eat it, I don't care. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell that part. I mixed it. Yeah. I mixed it. Wait. Austin, shh. Hold on. Say that again. Thank you. No. Yes. But that's the point right here. Hold on. That's the point. That one single statement, not that Austin's doing this, but in the context of this, that one single statement separates those who are being influenced and those who are influencers. I mean, it's just one little party. I mean, it's just one time going too far with whomever. I mean, it's just one time looking at something I shouldn't have looked at. It's just one time cussing with all my friends out there. It's just one time fill in the blank. It's just one time smoking this thing, or one time doing this thing, or drinking this thing, or one time whatever. It's just one. But if you were a criminal, or if you were you standing before a perfect and righteous judge who cannot, it is impossible for him to do anything that isn't right. And he looked at you and said, have you ever done anything, even one thing, that you shouldn't have done, that was against my will? And you said yes. Could that perfect judge overlook that? No. Because if you murdered just one person, he's still a murderer. If you've lied just one time, does that make you someone who's lied or a liar? If you've thought inappropriately about one person, does that mean that you are an adulterer? According to the Bible, yes. You see, what we have got to do and what we hope to do is over these next couple of weeks, I want you to understand that we ourselves are called to be influencers, not in the terms that you see, not in the terms that we watch on social media, but in ways that are larger and grander than anything you can ever expect. And here's the crazy part. It's incredibly difficult to do this. Why? Because you can't give in. You can't say it's just one. No, you have to resolve. Everybody say resolve. You have to make up your mind and your heart right now. You will not do what culture says you should assimilate yourself to do, but that you only focus on what God would have you to do. Daniel stood before that guy and said, let me do this. So 10 days later, guess what? He compared him and realized, well, wait, these guys actually look bigger and stronger and better. At the end of the 10 days, it was seen that they were better in appearance and fatter in flesh than all the youths who ate all of the king's food, right? And here's the crazy part. At the end of the time when the king had commanded them, right, Daniel standing before him, he stood against the pressures of all the people, of all the culture, of the king, of his uncertain future, and didn't say, it's just one, this. Instead, he said, no, I'm going to resolve in my heart to follow God alone. And even though the world itself, in your terms and in your own schools and in your own family and friends group go, I can't do that. I will not have friends anymore. I will not have family anymore. Everyone will abandon me. Things will look uncertain for me. Things will get really hard for me. I can't do that. Well, guess what? Daniel's own life was on the line, and here's what it said. At the end of the time, when the king had commanded them that they should be brought in, guess what? The chief of the eunuchs brought them before Nebuchadnezzar, and the king spoke with them. And among all of them, none were found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore, they were the ones chosen. Why? Because when you put God in his place in your life, God will put you in your place in his will. And in every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king inquired them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians, enchanters that were in all of his kingdom. So I end with this. I have one question that I really, or one statement I really hope that you get. Will you be influenced, or will you be an influencer? Because if you claim to be a follower of Christ, our mission every single day is to wake up and figure out how we can influence, how we can, going back to that list again, make an impact, inspire people, initiate, inform, and imitate Christ to a world full of the influenced. And as we're going to discover throughout Daniel's life, doing this really works out for him and his friends over and over and over again. But would you have the courage to stand up and become an influencer rather than being influenced? Would you pray with me? Father God, we're so thankful for who you are. We're thankful for the students who are willing to sit here even though it's late and we've gone through quite a bit of stuff. Father, I pray that you just speak to those who need to hear this message. God, that it not be my words, that it be yours. But as we go through this series, Father, as we discover what the effects of influencers have on our lives and the effects that we get to have on others, Father, I pray that we raise up like you are doing already and that you will continue to do. Father, those who are willing to stand here and say, look, I don't care what the world decides. I don't care what culture says is right or wrong. My only focus is what God has for my life and his will for my life. God, if there's anybody in this room who doesn't know who you are, Father, I pray that you begin to move in their heart right now. Don't let them leave this room without giving them that 10 seconds of courage to say, to come up to one of the adults afterwards and say, I need to know what it means to give my life to you. To no longer live as a life of the influence, but to become an influencer themselves. God, we're so thankful for who you are, and we're thankful for another great night. It's in your name. Amen.
Y'all just thought y'all were done and got away from me. Joke's on y'all. All right. So, any questions from what he talked about? None? Okay, good. Rides here by 8:30. Trash in there. Please pick it up. I think that's it. Don't forget your 5-5-5 challenge. 5 minutes in the Word, 5 minutes of worship, and 5 minutes of prayer. I think we can handle that.
able to do that. All right, so that's all. Y'all can leave. Bye.
Bye.